All right. We have Cesar coming in today. He is the owner and creator of the Little Vintage Shop at the Austin Country Flea Market. And he's a pillar in the hobby. So can you stop that, please, kitty? He's a pillar in the hobby, and he is a very, very good man. And he's here right now. Please come in, Cesar. It's so good to see you. How's it going,
brother?
Please, yeah. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
We introduce all our guests like that, so I'm hoping we catch a lot of people off guard. Now, you are also, I'm going to get into it with him real quick.
Yeah.
You're late this morning. All you have to do is show up and sit down in front of a monitor. What's the deal?
I overslept. I'm sorry about that.
Sure. Are you recording this meeting?
I figured, I have to have a little collection of everything that we speak about just in case I need it in the future.
You're collecting footage. Kind of one of the first things you're collecting, right?
I like David Dobrik.
Okay, yeah. I don't even know who that is, but I've heard the name before.
He's an inspiration of mine.
Okay, wonderful. I don't know where Mason is. He's not here either. So you're late. Caesar's on time.
Yep.
And then...
Hey, sorry, boss.
Oh, what's up?
Good to see you. Sorry about that.
Sure, it's all
Hey,
right.
how's it going?
What's up?
I'm Mason.
Caesar, nice to meet you,
Sorry I'm late.
Mason.
Yeah, got lost in this book.
What are you reading? Oh, Harry Potter.
Huh?
You've never read that before.
No, never heard of it.
Do you like it?
Pretty good. I love young adult fiction, so this is right up my alley.
That was a nice save there at the end. Sure. And are you reading Harry Potter right now?
You know what? No, I'm actually reading Percy Jackson.
Oh,
That's
dude.
That's the next time I
That's
listen.
Honestly, I never read any of those.
No.
No. I know people. I'm not a big reader. I read a lot of Hank the Cowdog.
Oh.
So yeah, and then I watched all movies. Yeah, and that's how I got here. So.
Okay.
But the first thing I'd like to get into for our second episode, and with our very first guest, Cesar, is when and how did you get into Pokemon? Collecting, selling, trading? I mean, I call you a pillar of the hobby here in Austin, Texas, because I've known you as long as I've been doing it, which is roughly 4 years. So not like we've been doing this together for like 15 years, but
right.
No one has. All right, no one has.
I think that's fair to say. I mean, I started collecting back in like elementary school. I mean, my brother got me into it, to be fair.
Same. I mean, I had cards then, but I fell off. Did you fall off?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure a lot of people did.
What did you fall off to?
No.
Like, what did you go to after Pokemon?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep. Same.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Same.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh
was just tight.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I like the animation a lot more, but
yes, the show was so much better than. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Yu-Gi-Oh show is a lot better than Pokemon show.
Is that a hot take?
I don't know. Is that?
I don't know. You have a lot of these new Disney adults that are in the Pokemon hobby, and they'd say, well, that's blasphemous.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also Disney adults that, they just really start crying at the sight of anything, so they're overly emotional, whatever. People like us, like you, did you ever get into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid?
No. So,
Really?
I mean,
Interesting.
for me, all my friends did. And
Yeah.
I had like a little bit of Pokemon
Big in
cards.
Dallas. Big in Dallas.
Yeah, so I admired it, but I never knew how to play either Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. So
You're a big sports guy in your
big
youth.
sports guy. Yeah, I love sports growing up.
Tell us a little bit about what was your favorite college team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the.
Yeah, so I grew up liking sports a lot. That's what I did in my youth. I didn't really collect anything. I didn't play Pokemon, but I loved Oklahoma State University. OSU Cowboys, baby. Let's go Pokes, baby. And I've recently, maybe not so recently, drifted way far away from sports in general, and
yeah.
now I don't really have any hobbies. So
I remember the first time I met Mason, and he showed me like these pictures of him wearing like Oklahoma State stuff, and the guy that I had met is nothing like the kid that I saw in those pictures. So,
completely different.
right. What about you, Archie? Was there anything like as a kid in India? Was there any sort of like IP, that was huge over there that maybe was a little more international, or maybe it was just like Indian?
I don't know if we have an Indian audience here, but there used to be a channel called 10 Sports, and it would show WWE all the time. So for me, the IP that I was most interested in was wrestling. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rob Van Dam, Rey Mysterio, The Big Show, Mark Henry. These were people that I looked up to. Edge.
Mark Henry.
Was a particular favorite of mine.
Who? Rikishi? No, it was.
Rikishi was a particular favorite.
No,
of
he
mine.
was not. Was he really?
Yeah, I loved his finishing move.
Wait, what was his finishing move?
Are you burning up over there? Where are you filming at right now?
I can't disclose that, but it may or may not be a detention center.
But you're in Houston, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All
It was
right.
weird when you actually called in. It said we had a collect call from a detention
Yeah.
center outside Houston.
Yeah, we're trying to create a detention center similar to Abu Ghraib here. So yeah.
That's where I am right now.
Well, I wish you the best, and I hope you get out and get collecting here soon. Well, Cesar, tell people, I guess, a little bit about when the shop got started.
Probably like 4 to 5 years ago, roughly. I kind of was dropped onto it because I already
Really?
had the shop going. It
Okay.
wasn't anything related to Pokemon or
Really?
collectibles.
What was it?
Originally, it was like a computer repair shop.
Okay,
I used
cool.
to work there with my dad.
Nice.
And then he transitioned into something else, and I transitioned into something else,
Nice.
which was Pokemon.
Nice. Say, I'm sure your father obviously built like a very large, extensive group of clients and stuff.
Right.
But you're getting that right now with
Oh,
Pokemon.
yeah, no, definitely.
Probably a little
Definitely.
faster, I think more people want Pokemon cards than their computer repaired.
Oh, no,
nowadays.
definitely. I mean,
But-
who knows? But I mean,
Right.
Pokemon's a lot more fun,
I
to be
know.
fair.
Yeah. a lot
being there,
more fun to get into.
Yeah, drowsing on computers kind of got over it for me pretty
Sure.
quick. But,
I worked at Best Buy when I was young, so I feel that. Got over that stuff very quickly.
Right.
Let's jump into some hot takes for the week.
Okay.
Mason, what's your hot take of the week? Doesn't have to be anything Pokemon related.
Ooh, hot take of the week. This is a real big hot take. Caviar, overrated.
Yeah,
Mm.
sure.
Super expensive. For what?
Yeah,
Something that tastes like fish?
just get fish.
I just eat fish.
Yeah, I get that. What about you, Archie? You got any hot takes brewing?
No particular hot takes this week, but I do have a question for Caesar here.
Okay.
Caesar, did your relationship with collecting change after it became sort of a source of income for you after you made it into a business?
That's honestly a really good question. I like to feel like it didn't because I'm not fully invested into the shop quite yet. I still kind of see it as a hobby since I only do it Saturday and Sunday, right? So like I feel like if I transitioned into a full-on shop, then maybe it would have changed my perspective on collecting. Right now, I kind of like
That might be a good thing.
I
Right?
kind of feel like the shop is like an extension of my collection.
Yeah,
And I'm able to share
feel
it with
that.
everybody.
Yeah, I
That's
totally feel that.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part why the shop's so successful,
Right.
too. Like, I mean, we have always talked about it, in the
Mhm.
shadows when
Right.
when I'm talking secretly with my other Pokemon collecting friends. No, I mean, it's obvious which shops are good in Austin, which
Yeah.
shops are bad, and I'm not really going to talk about the bad ones because that's just not really fair. But I love to praise the good ones, and Cesar obviously has one of the good ones. What is your hot take for this week?
My hot take for this week.
Let's make it Pokemon. I want a Pokemon from you. These two spares, they don't know anything about
Give us something
Pokemon.
juicy.
Something juicy. I don't know. Okay, my hot take is I don't like how there's a big influx of new vendor collectors.
I know.
I don't
I've
like
seen
that.
that.
It's weird because the whole dynamic now is changing to just straight up everybody wanting to do trades in my favor.
Exactly.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I
Mhm.
do think it's strange how people have adopted the identity of the seller
Right.
and not the identity of a collector.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of people that get into the hobby now, it's like, oh, I gotta become a seller and flip the cards and stuff.
Right.
That's more of something that is, I think, more akin to like sports cards, you know, because there's just not that much artistic appreciation going on in the first place.
True.
So you're just like, I've got this $3,000, you know, 101 whatever sports card of this star. But the problem with the sports industry is like there's 150, 200 one-of-ones of players sometimes, you know, as you go along their career. Like I think I saw there's a Victor Wembanyama 1-of-1 super refractor. Those are like the big hits from some of these Panini sets, $160-something thousand. And then you have the Pikachu Illustrator card that sold just a couple months ago for like $190,000. But that one has staying power because it's got a whole community of people like supporting it and like knowing about it, and it's just something that is like a very big collectible. Whereas like, I mean, can you even say that about the Victor Wembanyama card yet? In comparison for the rest of that hobby, I don't know. It's weird.
So
it is.
Yeah.
So the Pikachu that you just mentioned versus the Wembanyama card, is the Pikachu older?
Yeah.
So it has more like.
Yeah, for sure. It's also a lot more. It has a lot more story.
So
I mean, like
mind you, I don't really know much about any of this.
Yeah.
That's why the opinion's right.
Sure. Well, you're starting with your reading of Harry Potter.
I'll have my first piece up about this soon.
Sure.
My question is, how can the Victor Wembanyama card gain so much value so quickly, whereas the Pokemon being older, I mean, obviously it sells for more, but it's still like Wembanyama's been in the league, what, 3-4 years?
Well, Victor Wembanyama right now and probably for a long time is going to be more relevant than the Pikachu Illustrator card. Will he ever be more relevant than Pokemon? No. Okay. However, you know, there's a lot of value to Victor Wembanyama because he's like one of the greatest prospects ever.
Right. Okay.
But like at the same time, like you're not. It's not a terrible question, and obviously we don't really know the answer to that. Why is something like this fetching that much price point? The thing I will say is it's at the mercy of lazy rich people, and that's why it gets to be that high priced. If you had obviously like more of those Victor Wembanyamas, you'd have more price points that it's selling at. So there's 50 roughly of the Pikachu Illustrator card, and I think that's actually a healthier place to be because it's going to get bought and sold way more times versus the Victor Wembanyama one. It's like, okay, are people really going to care about that in 5 years? Victor Wembanyama also has a blood clot right now, so there's a chance he could never play again potentially. It's like, right, Archie? What's the deal with his blood clot?
Also, I'd like to correct Mason that Victor Wembanyama has not been in the league for 3 to 4 years. It goes to show how far away from sports he's been. This is the second year in the league, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Archie thinks he's fine. Archie, you get to pick. Let's say they're the same price. Pikachu Illustrator card or a 1-of-1 super refractor. Victor Wembanyama, it has no rookie signature. It has no patch.
I'll make this really easy. Listen, I'm never going to collect a card for a Frenchman.
I bleed red, white, and blue, even though I'm not an American citizen, but I still bleed red, white, and blue.
So, no, I'm against Victor.
That's hard as dude. You hope he never plays again, or you don't care?
I don't care if he plays again.
Sure.
What if he was in the league for 3 or 4 years? Would you care probably more since you know more about him and have had more time to understand and love him?
He's a Frenchman. I don't agree with them.
Okay.
Sure.
That was an app.
No, that's Archie's hot take.
I have another question for Cesar.
Okay.
What's your take on his 2 Pichus that he has?
His 2 Peaches. He's brought them up a few times, and they. I mean, I don't know the backstory that well. I mean, he's explained it to me, and I still kind of have an idea of it.
Sure.
I don't know. Honestly, they probably should be a lot more valuable than what they are. I kind of agree with
Who
that.
knows? Like, if anything, yeah, and like, yes, I agree. But I do think, like, the point of me bringing up those Pikachus is like, look, these are really, really rare things. These have story. They have people that really want them. There are a lot of unlimited collectors. It seems like there's more every year since I've been picking those up. And I just, you know, I want to hear your opinion on this too, with like, you know, where we are with the supply and demand problems. And, you know, we have the new Sunbreon that is fetching crazy prices right out of the pack. And I think it has gone down. Like, I don't know, you know the market better than me. What is that right now?
It's like 1540-ish.
So not that much. Yeah,
it
really
hasn't
gone
touched
down
at all.
Yeah, so I mean, that's crazy. A problem. Like, again, it's the same thing with the Victor Wembanyama. Lazy rich people. That's what's happening to that card. If you pick up that card for a ton of money and you like think you've made a come up, I'm sorry, you didn't. And you're really doing things that are more akin to a lazy rich person than a real collector. It's not about blowing your money on stuff as soon as it comes out of the pack. That's very childish. But yeah,
it's tough, dude. I don't even know if it's like a fair market for that card.
it's not. And you know, he doesn't need to speak on it because he sells the cards. Like, I'm the one saying it's a bad deal. Cesar could correct me, but like, you know, sorry. But overall, like, what is your opinion on the prices of cards right now?
Man, it's so tough to pinpoint it down.
Right.
Because it's like, at the same time, you can argue that there's like a very big issue with supply and demand.
Sure.
Especially coming from Pokemon.
Right.
But it's like, I think it's just a big influx of new collectors. I mean, a lot of people want to collect stuff, and it's kind of tough to find like singles.
It is.
And that's why the market's going up.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That is a great point. It's harder to find singles because of the demand of more people coming in. We always talk about the demand of people like buying more packs. We're not talking about the demand of people actually buying singles.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Right.
Is that a hot take?
No, I just think that's extremely good insight from Cesar for sure. Yeah. I mean, I have been a bit weary of like, I don't know, just the prices as of now, and I think that kind of does have helped me get like a better idea of why they are where they are. And again, I mentioned this earlier. Who are these new people coming into the hobby? Disney adults, all right? Get the out of here. Nobody wants that dumb shit. All of us didn't watch the Disney Channel growing up. We were watching Nickelodeon. We were watching... Okay, well, maybe you did.
I've watched this.
Okay, we'll come back to that. I did too a little bit, but I mean, listen, it's not the same. Who even knows what's on the Disney Channel right now? I would hate to look. I feel like I'd be thrown into some sort of like mind warping thing or something. But I don't trust Disney. All right, none of us should. They are terrible, and Lorcana is crap. That is a horrible card game. The card stock is shitty. The card game itself is not that fun to me. Go play Pokemon. And also, if you're new and you're hearing this and you're like, screw this guy, good. I'm glad you feel that way. Go start to collect Pokemon cards. Stop paying ridiculous prices for this crap. You don't know what you're doing. You need to figure it out. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah. Was that a hot take?
There's no.
Yeah, I mean, that was my hot take was Disney adults. I don't like them. Get out of
I'm
here.
dating a Disney adult right now, so I'm not okay with that.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Interesting.
That is.
So
a
what's
hot
she
take.
into? Exactly.
Minnie Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
We said Minnie Mouse.
Oh, Minnie Mouse?
Minnie Mouse and Goofy.
I actually have a question for Caesar, and this is kind of about what he talked about in terms of cards, prices. You know, as a new collector, one of the things that intimidates us the most is how do we start? Where do we start? And particularly, what's a good card? What price range should we start at? In your opinion, if I'm a new collector and I want to find my community,
How do I start?
Personally, I mean, do you have a favorite Pokemon as of right now? No?
I think it mostly goes off nostalgia, so I'd say Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Charizard.
Like the starters? I would say find like a good Pokemon that you like to, you enjoy to collect, and then, go based off of that. And then work into like sets, master sets, maybe stick to like the $20 to $50 range, and then work up to like the more expensive stuff. Because I feel like if you have a binder full of like nice artworks you can enjoy, that's like the main prime goal you should have
For sure.
at the beginning.
For sure.
Right. And then, work out, flushing it in with more higher end valuable stuff that you still enjoy, but it holds a lot more like desirability and is bound to go up in value in the future. That's how I feel about it.
We could just end the whole channel on that answer. That was a great answer, for sure.
do you think that we should start with our research and how to go about buying cards on our own? Or do you think it'd be better if we come to a community, a shop kind of like yours, and start to ask people for help?
Definitely, if you have like a group of collectors around you, I would say ask them for guidance, and then come to the shops and see what they have, their opinion is on getting into that collection.
Well, this was just part one of our little journey with Cesar here, we are actually going to go in person to his shop and check it out and bring it to the viewers at home that are too lazy to get up and just go check it out in person. So hopefully you will do that. If it's after today, great. This right here, over Archie's face, this is where you can find Cesar's shop. But I'm excited to tell you that our very next episode is going to be out of office. And we will be having our first out of office episode at Cesar's Little Vintage Shop. Cesar, thank you for coming in. And we will see you next week.